guys. This is Kurtoville with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I am live once again for the Sunday evening chat. Welcome. I know I'm a couple minutes late. Had some business to take care of. Actually, I'm still taking care of, but I'm wrapping up as we speak. So no worries. Welcome to the show. When you guys come in, hit that like button today. Okay? Hit the like button. And it will notify everybody else that I am live. We have a couple things that I do want to discuss with you guys. I do feel that for the members only know what I'm talking about, but other than that, everything's good. Mikhail, Counterpunch to you. However you found this live stream, I'm thankful you did. Let's talk boxing, people. I've been listening to people that Alex, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I've been listening to a lot of Alexander Usyk backlash because his comments towards Moses Atoma, and Moses Atoma, in fact, is an up-and-coming fighter, as we all know, from Great Britain, from the UK. A lot of people say that he's not from the UK. So, we have a lot to talk about. Jay, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Jay in the building. Man, I'm doing pretty good. I just left the gym, man. I've been having some problems, like as far as my tendon back here to my neck. I don't know, bro. If that's the sign of getting old, then that case, age sucks. But Quan's big guns in the building. Salute. Counterpunch to you, Quan. Big guns. 2-gun salute. Maybe even 3. Maybe even 4. Who knows? Right? But yeah, man. I mean, other than that, it's been like a protruding headache from here to here. Like all this area. It's been and it's been weird. It's been for the last week or so. I've been trying to shake it off, putting gel and slapping it on there every day, and taking BC, which I know that shit's no good for you, and I don't want to turn into a BC head, right? So, Fabian Cameron in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. He boxed for the country and always respected the flag. Okay. Doesn't matter where he was born to me. Talking about Moses Atoma. Yeah, so a lot of people are like, he's not British. Hey, Moses Atoma's not British. I'm like, damn, he speaks with a British accent. It's mild, but not everybody in the UK talks alike. Hell, I know that, bro. That's, from Liverpool to Manchester to Watford to London to Brixton to, you have so many different accents in the UK. So saying all that to say this, he speaks with a British accent. He's British to me. Shit. I never, and until I heard it, I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Are you guys really? They're talking about this man's nationality, is thorough as people have went to adopt, other people, I think this is 7-Eleven. Yeah. Because what happens is those same people that said he's not British are the same people are going to praise him when he wins a world title. I want him to keep that same energy, because I know something real strange. Here's 7-Eleven. I know something real strange about certain people. Give you a story, right? Manny Pacquiao was once just a no-name fighter. Hold on just a second. Manny Pacquiao. Okay, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a Filipino fighter that decided to, hey, let me go to America to, the hell? Hold on a second. Could you drop it off at the right house? Okay, let's see. No, couldn't be. Hold on a second. Oh, 13. All right. Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao was a no-name fighter with 3 losses when he came to the States. Or was it 2 losses? Yeah. All right. So, this cat really wasn't known. I mean, he really wasn't. He wasn't a known fighter. He beat LaJuaba. And he was still on the, let's see, south, north, cool. He still was on that, we don't know who he is type guy. Pac-Man versus Loma to be continued. That would be a good fight. I would want to see it in its prime. You know, and what's crazy is when Loma became the old guy overnight, right? But Manny, though, was a guy that really wasn't known at the time. He wasn't a known fighter like that. He just made himself known based on what he could do. And then when he came on the scene, he was there. But I had my first daughter, her mom was from Guam. She had first cousins, her mom's sister's kids, right? And they were also all from Guam, but their parent, like the daddies were like Filipino, and they would never rep Filipino ever. They would always be like, hey, where you from? You from this? You from there? No, I'm from Guam. I'm Guam. I'm Guam fan. You know, J-Lu and all this. And then as soon as Manny Pacquiao became like a superstar, because remember at one point he was just a badass, and then from the badass status he became the superstar. He became the guy that started getting $1 million a fight and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's who he was at the time. Okay, so that being that's who he was, and nobody gave a shit. Nobody wanted to be Filipino in that family until Manny Pacquiao started becoming a superstar. Then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we're Filipino. Oh, okay, now you're Filipino. You know what I mean? I thought you were from Guam. No, I'm Filipino fan. Okay, that's that. I just find that strange. So, you know, in reference to Moses Atoma, okay, I think the same thing. Once Moses becomes a champ, if he becomes a superstar, which I hope he does. I think he can though. I think he can. I think Moses Atoma, a guy. He has the personality subtle, but I think he still has it. I think he still has what it takes to become a uh, a superstar. And when he does, I think this whole British thing will be absolved. Right? Okay, let's see. Where were we? I gotta catch up on. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta do this right. There we go. All right. There we go. That's the next rig. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Mikhail, he boxed for the country and always respected the flag. Doesn't matter where he was. Okay, that's where I was. Right, we're talking about Moses. Okay, Jay, I want some of that Fisher, what Fisher been smoking with that Usyk statement. Yeah, man, I look, bro, I want some of that too, man. I want some of that too. I do want some of that. I want whatever he's been smoking. Because, bro, whatever he's smoking, it's some powerful stuff because you guys don't know. Joe, just saw your personal video. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, Johnny Fisher, if you haven't seen the video, if you didn't get the notification, Johnny Fisher has said he vows to be the first one to stop Alexander Usyk. If that would make sense if he was undefeated, if nobody has already knocked him spark out, has exposed him to be chinny, because Johnny Fisher's chinny. He's a chinny dude. You know what I mean? Dave Allen was able to take him out, and it shows you he's chinny. Because Arslanbek Markmadov has been knocked out twice. He's been stopped twice. Once by Caballel, twice by Vianello, right? Guido. And each of those times, he's been rocked to the point he's been stopped. To be fair, Caballel, like he does a lot of people, he just chops you down to the body. But Guido showed him, hey, I can overpower you. And he showed some kinks in his armor. But now if you look at Arslanbek Markmadov and his chinny chin, and you look at Fisher and his, right? You can see definitely the difference between the two. You know what I mean? So say what you want. Dave Allen hitting Markmadov as hard as he fucking could. I mean, he hit him as hard as he could. Markmadov was hurt. He was stunned, but he didn't he wasn't slurred and drooling at the mouth like Fisher was. Fisher got hurt, and Fisher was on his way out. So knowing that about Fisher, you got that chin like that, you ain't going to be able to go up against these dudes, man, especially Usyk, because, see, Usyk will catch you with a shot that you don't even see. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these levels, bro, levels and levels. The same Usyk that had Dave Allen out on his feet. You know what I mean? He had it in sparring. Remember that? Dave Allen was like, and Usyk saw it. He's like, yo, bro, please, please. Because sometimes you can hit somebody so hard that you hurt them, but you have to be responsible for your own actions. Because, see, what happens just because you hit someone and you hurt them doesn't mean that they're not still on their feet. They may be out on their feet, but they're still up, and they may try to conjure up some type of attack, and you don't want, you know what I mean? The irresponsible thing to do, if you hurt someone like that and they're all, on Queer Street, the worst thing you want to do is sparring, because if it's a fight, it just is what it is, and then that's the referee's job to stop the fight. But if you're sparring a guy and you hit a guy like that, like Usyk hit Dave Allen, you have to be responsible enough to say, hey, man, whoa. You all right? You good? Man, you good? Hey, man, take a break, man. Because some people are evil. Some people just like fucking violent. Some people just like to ring your bell to knock you out, and you know what I mean? They're kind of psychotic. That's the word, psychotic. And you got to watch that. You don't want that, But yeah, Jay, I want some of that he's smoking too, because he got some I don't know. It gave him some inflated balls, bro. Some inflated testicles. Daryl Haynes. Who, Kurt, don't put that Union Jack flag up in the UK. You'll get arrested. Really? Kurt, don't put the... Why would you get arrested? I'm lost. I'm lost. What the hell? Did something happen I don't know about over there? Usyk would knock out Anthony Joshua next time. If AJ's damaged past the point, if he took major, if he hasn't recovered, let's put it that way, from the Daniel Dubois fight, that may be the case. Usyk may be able to get him out of there. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't think Usyk has that mindset to knock out AJ, because I think he knows what AJ means to the British public and the British fans. You know what I mean? I don't think he would have that mentally, I'm going to knock him out. He had that against Daniel. He had that against Daniel, and Daniel had it coming. He had every intention to knock out Daniel Dubois. He had that intention to knock him out. I predicted, he said he was going to. He said, I'm not just going to beat Daniel Dubois. I'm going to dominate Daniel Dubois. And that's exactly what Usyk did. He went in there and knocked his ass out. You know, you can call it a quit. No, I mean, he quit because he knew if I get my ass back up, I'm going to be right back down here, so why bother? He's not going to knock my mouth over here in the 5th row into some popcorn to somebody or beer. Have 2 or 3 Dubois teeth in it. So yeah, Usyk, he had intention to knock out Danny Dubois, but he won't have that same intention to an AJ. I think he's too cool with AJ. You know what I mean? AJ, real recognizes real. AJ knows, like, no, Usyk's a real one. He knows that. Quan Big Gun says, is Fisher still concussed? My 15-year-old would KO Johnny boy. Why he calling out Usyk? Allen not even a big puncher. This is my guess, guys. I think Johnny is calling out Usyk on it's an intelligent approach. And I'm going to tell you how. Everybody knows Johnny Fisher got beat by Dave Allen, really twice. Really back to back. I mean, they gave him the first fight, but that was bullshit. And, you know, Dave Allen, you know, he righted the wrong the next fight. That being said, though, saying all that, I think that Johnny Fisher wants a payday. And I think Usyk would probably want a tune-up, which I don't think he deserves. I'm not gonna side with that. I don't think he deserves that. So I gotta let you guys know. I don't think he deserves any tune-up. No undisputed fighter needs a tune-up. You fought all the way to get there. That means you keep fighting to stay there. That's how I feel. That's how I'm always gonna feel. However, Johnny is just unalarming enough to make it a fight if the whole injury, right, is needed or deserved for a prep fight. Johnny Fisher's that prep fight. He's that guy that, hey, why not fight Johnny Fisher? You know what I'm saying? He got beat by Dave Allen, but he's still a pretty, you know, and Usyk probably, if he wants to fight in the UK, that would be a fight that, you know, Eddie Hearn would jump on. Eddie Hearn would jump on that fight so fast and jump on that narrative of Johnny Fisher taking Alexander Usyk on. He'll jump on that shit quick, man. Usyk heavyweight division, only British boxers of the resume. It's paranoia. Loco. Hi. I like Atoma. Even more him representing Nigeria. Saw on his IG story he been spending time there and embracing the culture. None of his parents British. He just lives there. You know what? That's what it is then. If his dad is Nigerian, Atoma, okay, and his mom is like Slavic or something like that, you know, but then here's the thing. He was born, if was he, so he wasn't even born there, but he was raised there. You know what I mean? So even in this country now, we're having issues with people that, let's say you were from Mexico, you were born in Mexico and you moved here when you were 5 and now you're 30, or you're 25, you're 30 years old. Well, unless you went back and forth to Mexico, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to know geographically a lot about Mexico unless your family was strong cultured enough to show you, you know what I mean, what Mexico is and who Mexicans are. You know what I mean? Especially if you weren't or not in a Mexican influenced community. So they're, you know, they're like that. So a lot of ICE agents and all that stuff, they're rounding people up like that. And it's like, okay, where the hell do they go? You know, this dude works at Amazon. You're going to lock him up because he was born in, you know, stuff like that. It could happen. I mean, it's happened before. It's just happening more rapidly now. So I get that. Now I understand that. But if Moses Atoma, you know, he may know a lot about, say I'm American. I'm not Cuban. I'm American. I was raised here. So that being said, I have a plan to go to Cuba. I'm kind of scared though. But, you know, I go everywhere else. But the thing is, if, you know, if I was born there and if I was a Mariolito, you know, I don't know if you guys know what that is. Mariolito. Mariolito is a person that came from the harbor, from Mariel, Cuba, when they took the ships and they came here, or should I say Key West. And they were 90 miles. So they took the boats and they docked there, and a lot of relatives came to pick up their relatives. Some didn't. Some just kind of made it to Miami. They got out of Monroe County into Dade County, and they wreaked havoc because a lot of those travelers were prisoners. So Fabian Cameron, he's as British as myself, Dillian, etc. He pays taxes in the UK and also resides here. I'm pretty confident he's got a British bank account, so he's as British as he needs to be. Yeah. I mean, I don't object. I have no objections. Scants Rants in the building. The man with the wrench. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Loma versus Pac-Man future. Nah, bro. I don't want to see that. Even if Loma's, look. We've seen Ukrainians retire as well and then come back to the sport. We've seen that. You know, Alexander Volsnik did that. You know, Artur retired him. You know, he took a couple years off, but he wasn't just sitting around. Because keep in mind, he was the guy that that sparred Canelo when Canelo was going to fight Bivol or Bivol. It was Volsnik. So he just didn't sit around. You know, he did more of the Michael Hunter thing, just kind of, you know, sparred a lot of people and kind of got that side money, that side hustle money from sparring. You know what I mean? So it's not heard of, because he is that guy. You had Alexander Volsnik, Usyk, Alexander, and Lomachenko. So you had those three. And him fighting Pacquiao, I seen that last fight. Pacquiao looks like somebody that's 47 years of age and still trying to fight. I don't want him to fight. And you know what, I hate to say it about Manny, but I'm going to. Like I said about everybody else in the sport. I was a Manny Pacquiao fan. I damn near shit myself when he beat Keith Thurman. And it was a good fight. When he dropped Keith Thurman in the first round, if you guys that rock with me then, we had 40,000 plus on that live stream. It was lit in 2019. That was a lit live stream. I was at my boy Hop's house. Shout out to Hop in Shreveport. He had the barbecue going. He had the drinks. He had everything. And I absolutely loved that fight. However, you fast forward 6, almost 7 years, you don't have the same Manny Pacquiao no more. Manny Pacquiao, we seen him when his nosedive of performance against Ugas. And Ugas beat him with a jab. Mario Barrios beat Ugas. Then Manny fights Mario Barrios to a draw, which I think was a gift thing. And what's going to happen, they need Manny. I think they're just trying to keep Manny active because Manny Pacquiao has a name. And as long as you got that name, you got that reputation. As long as you got that reputation, you have buying power, star power, marketability. You have those things when you have a reputation, when you have a name. Manny Pacquiao is that guy. They need that over at the PBC. They needed someone like Manny Pacquiao to hold up their banners and represent them still. PBC, Fox, Al Heyman, Premier Boxing Champions, they need someone like that. He's basically a mascot with boxing gloves on. You know what I mean? He tries and stuff like that, but again, he's too old, and somebody's going to have to knock him out or beat him badly to make him quit, to get him to understand, like, I don't belong here no more. So why don't I go home, put the rest of my energy in loving my family and all my kids that I had with my fine-ass wife, Jinky, and call it a day. Help my son come up like I was. See, at this point, it's selfish for Manny to keep hogging the spotlight just because he ain't got shit to do at home. He bored. And boxing is an addictive sport. You get addicted to getting hit like that. You get addicted to punching somebody in the face. Hell, I remember Brandon Rios, which I haven't seen him in a long time. But Brandon Rios said, yo, it's like busting a nut. I'm like, what did you say? He said boxing is like busting a nut, having an orgasm, guys. But that shows you, though, and he explained it in his own way, it's very addictive. It's something that you crave. It's something that you can't stop doing because you want so much. You get obsessed with it. You think about it. You breathe. You dream. Boxing. It happens. Then you've had this illustrious career in boxing, and then you're not fighting no more. So it's like almost not fighting, or like a soldier in war. You get this PTSD of not doing what you are accustomed of doing. That's Manny's problem. That may be Tyson Fury's problem. So it is what it is. When Moses becomes big of all sudden, then suddenly he always been British and he's loved by everyone. I believe that. XK Shots, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I thought Fraser Clark is the lowest level UK prospect, but he stopped Dave Allen, and Johnny Boy lost to Dave Allen, got KO'd. Well, certain fights are going to go certain ways, and it's not based on a hierarchy. It's based on styles. See, we keep basing this on a hierarchy of who beat who, and because this happened, this other thing can't. No, it's not a hierarchy measurement system. It doesn't work that way in boxing. Boxing is styles make certain formulas to make certain outcomes of fights. So these two fighters will get in and they will have a certain type of fight based on the style. That style will create a formula, and that formula will tell us who wins and who loses based on the styles. Which is better for who? Caballero versus Fury. Lumberjack loves big trees. I wonder what Tyson Fury wants to do now. Like, I wonder what is his deal? Like, what does Tyson Fury think, and what does he expect to accomplish? I know he's mentioned the Usyk fight. Usyk would lose so much respect if he fought Tyson Fury again. There's no reason for them to fight. There is no reason for Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk to fight again. Just the same as there's no reason for Usyk to fight AJ again. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that at all. Mark Madoff and Hergovic brothers in the ring because slow versus slow. Frazier Clark is 34. You won't get arrested putting a Union flag up, Kurt. Don't listen to the mugs. Okay. Did you hear about Shannon Briggs possibly fighting in Nigeria in December on a Amir Khan fight card? No. I heard he was going to Nigeria. I did wonder what it was for, though. Pac would have beat Floyd if both were in their prime. I don't know. I don't think so, man. I mean, Manny probably would have done better. But here's the reality of that, St. Don. The reality of that is that Floyd was not confident enough to beat Manny because of what Manny was doing. I believe that. I think a lot of people knew that. I think Floyd, if Floyd would have fought Manny at a certain time, even if he would have beat him, it would have been competitive enough so people won't look at Floyd like he wanted people to look at him. Floyd wanted people to look at him like he was God. You know what I mean? So let's say God gets in a fight with, like, say, the devil, and the devil gives you a pretty good damn fight. You know what I mean? But you win, but then people still see like, oh man, he really gave you a go. That's what Floyd feared about Manny. You know what I mean? Let alone getting beat. If he got beat by, imagine a world in the sport of boxing if Manny would have beat Floyd. I'm going to say that again. Imagine how the world of boxing would have been if Manny Pacquiao would have beat Floyd Mayweather. People would have, Manny Pacquiao fans, like those obsessed, crazy, fanatical fans, they would have been unbearably obnoxious because they were already full of shit. A lot of Manny Pacquiao fans were a bunch of assholes. They turned rogue. Like those like the obsessed ones. Because hell, I was a fan of Manny Pacquiao. Fury wants Usyk since Usyk is the biggest draw. He shouldn't have Usyk, and I think somebody should put their foot down and tell him, yo, go home. Like, you're not getting Usyk. Fight the available fighters, or just go the fuck home. You know, go into bare knuckle. Go into the UFC. Do that. Don't come here with this bullshit like, I am back. I mean, he just gets so exhausting. I could do video after video after video of Tyson Fury. The truth of the matter is I'm tired of it. I'm tired of making Tyson Fury videos. So I don't. So, you know, because it gets to the point, what if the views are high? I don't care if the views are high or not. I'm sick of spending my time talking about Tyson Fury, a guy that wastes everybody's time. Kurt, if Usyk versus Fury gets announced, you will be going live and loving it. I would go live for it, sure. I would promote it, sure. But you guys know how I feel about it. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take back what I said today. Don't mean that. I said there's no reason for Usyk to give Tyson Fury another opportunity, especially after Tyson Fury was pretty blatant. I'm saying that they were against him in Saudi Arabia, and I'm like, whatever. If Pac won, most of the planet would be jumping up and down. Yeah, people would have loved that. They would have loved that. For Floyd to be beat, yeah. Probably be, my brother loves Mayweather. Kurt, who do you think Fury should fight in his 2 warm-up fights? You know what? If I'm smart and I'm Tyson Fury, I fight somebody like Joe Joyce. Of course, he wouldn't have fought him 3 years ago, but he would fight him now. I think that would be a pretty safe fight for Tyson Fury. I think fighting Tyson Fury would be a safe fight to be made. Probably be against Ngannou and Dave Allen. Dave Allen's that's a good one, because Dave Allen would take that fight. DJ Anton, hello. Counterpunch to you. But yeah, Frank will get him a fight. That's Frank's job. Find him a fight, promote the fight, let the fight happen, and you take 15, 20% or whatever it is. For not throwing a single punch. Sounds good to me. Hell, if I'm Frank, well, Tyson, whatever you want to do, if you decided who you want to fight. Well, I don't know, Frankie, my boy. I don't know. Frank, I'm going to tell you. I want something. I want a challenge. I've beaten everybody in the sport. I need another fight. Give me a fight, Frank. We're working on it, Tyson. We're working. When will Apataya move to heavyweight? Whenever the hell he wants to. That's it. Whenever the hell he wants to. Because see, now I'm looking at that too. You're looking at Jai Apataya. And you see Jai Apataya, and then he's waiting around for a unification. You got Badu Jack, you got Zerto there, and these guys. I don't know about Badu Jack. I can't speak on him. I haven't heard much from him. But you have Zerto now with options. So now you got a person that's blatantly ducking a guy in his own division, and you give that guy that's ducking options. See, that David Benavidez statement let me know everything I need to know about that particular or those particular fighters. David Benavidez, I think he would go up to cruiserweight if he had a Zerto fight. I think he would say, you know what, screw Artur, screw Dimitri Bivol, and I'm going up here. Because I know he would fight Zerto in a second. He's already talking about it. And if he goes there, I don't think he'll go back to 175. I just don't think he will. I think he'll either vacate that belt and then Artur will fight whoever for it. That's what'll happen. But what would happen? He's fought Volchnik, he's fought Morel, and he'll fight Liard. So that would be his 3 fights. He will not return back to light heavyweight. And his excuse would be, oh, no, I'm going to stay up here in cruiserweight and try to unify up here. And then he'll fight Zerto. He'll beat Zerto. He might fight Badu Jack. He'll fight Badu Jack. And when it comes to that, hopefully by then, Jai Apataya will know nobody don't want to fight me. So then at that point, let me move to heavyweight. That's how that's going to go. I already know that, man. Meanwhile, David Benavidez has avoided a hard fight with Artur, a hard fight with Dimitri, the champions, the undisputed, two former undisputed light heavyweight champions. You have avoided to fight somebody that came up short in the same division, 175. Think about it. Ramirez was a big guy. He was strong, but he was slow. You know what I mean? Flat-footed, slow fighter, active fighter. Kind of put you in the mind of Antonio Margarito. Very busy, but not as fast. He attacks you, but no special effects with him. I think he has a pretty durable chin. I do think Zerto is a tough guy. So I think he's built like a tank. He has this sturdy foundation up under him, right? But I don't see him any match for David Benavidez. David Benavidez comes in at 200 pounds anyway, so it won't be any weight difference for him. You know, a lot of people been calling him weight bully and you've been too big and all that stuff. So, you know, and David Benavidez, for me, if you noticed, who has he knocked out at 175? How many people has he knocked out? Can somebody tell me that? How many people has David Benavidez knocked out at 175? Pattaya is too nice. He looks mean, but when he talks, he ruins it for himself. He needs to get some mentoring. Nah, I don't think John Pattaya I think he's not. I think he's a good dude. I don't really think he's nice because he doesn't seem nice to me. He seems like he may seem kind, but I don't know about nice. Jaya Pattaya looks like a quiet person that will kill you. I don't read because nice kind of comes off like bitches. Joseph Parker's nice. I don't think that's Jaya Pattaya. Jaya Pattaya is not a Joseph Parker. They don't have the same type of personality. Joseph Parker, let me give you, I'm gonna give you two impersonations. This is Joseph Parker. I just want to fight the best out there. I'm pretty sure that they're good fighters. I just want to fight the best. I'll make another music video. So to show that I'm ready. I'm ready to fight anyone. I'm just ready. You know, they're good guys. I'm sure they're good, but you know, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to show that I'm the best. I'm ready for undisputed two-time heavyweight champion. I'm ready. That's what I want. So whoever, you know, I would like to get in the ring with them, and that's it. That's Joseph Parker. Here is Jaya Pattaya. Fuck, you know, you can have the mill. I just want to fight. I mean, these guys, I don't know. I mean, I'm tired of sitting and waiting. I'm ready to fight. You know, I'm ready to have it. Have the fucking mill. Fuck. You know, I mean, that's Jaya Pattaya. Jaya Pattaya don't like it. He's quiet. And that motherfucker be like, fuck, you know, I'm just ready. Take the fucking mill. Take the mill. Are you convinced about Atoma? I still think people need to get an active elite fighter, maybe Joseph Parker and AJ after a decent warm-up. I do as well. Jaya Pattaya says fuck in every sentence. He ain't no nice guy, believe. Yeah, Jaya Pattaya, the way he knocked out Inyika, the way he broke fucking Sueyo's jaw, you know what I mean? He punches you with mean intentions. And he's already a guy, he knows how it is to get his jaw broke. So he already knows the reality, the concept of kill or be killed. I could break your shit like you can break mine. Mine's been broken and I'm breaking other people's jaw. Bro, Jaya Pattaya and Joseph Parker are not the same people. They may get along. There's the respect from, you know, being, you know, islanders. But no, bro. The impression of Kenny Powers becoming Joe Parker's trainer to make him more of a bad boy. Okay, you say Kenny Powers? I'm ready to fight. You ready to fight? Man, what kind of bullshit is that, man? Come on, man, get mean. Get mean. I know you guys be fucking eating each other and shit. You guys used to fucking tear each other's head off and eat it and make a bowl of soup out of it. Come on, man. Show me something. Show me that you mean. Oh, fuck. Gotta show me something, man. You better show me that you're a mean motherfucker, man. You know? Show me some of that fucking island warrior bullshit. Show me some of that. Show me I'm Joseph fucking Parker, and I'm ready to kick ass. Fuck Tyson Fury. Fuck AJ. Fuck them all. Say that. I'm here to fight. F Tyson Fury. F Joshua? No, man, you can't say F Joshua. You gotta say fuck Joshua, man. You gotta say fuck Fury. Yeah. Shit, all that bullshit. Man, this dude here, he's too goddamn nice. He's big as shit. Nice as a motherfucker. I can see Kenny, man. I'm Kenny Powers. You're fucking out. I'm fucking in. You tell him that. Say it. You're effing out. Say you're fucking out. You're effing out. Say it. Say fuck. Kenny be charging his ass up. All that bullshit. I am the best in the world. You need to say that. Parker, Joseph. Let me tell you something, JP. Matter of fact, you're not even Joseph Parker anymore. That don't sound gangster enough. What you need to be, you JP. I'm Kenny P, you JP. Kenny P, JP. 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 I like that. You should like it because you're a bad motherfucker. We need to get on it. We need to turn you in and turn you out. Shit. Motherfuckers too. Come on, man. Let's get you drunk. That's what you need to do, man. Hey. Here, have some of this goddamn Coke, man. Have some of this shit, man. Hell, get the fixes. Hey, Kurt, how would Andy talk on his first date? Andy Ruiz. Hi. How are you doing? Shit, you're fine. You look good. I want to talk to you. You want to go get some burgers? I know a place over here on Espinita. We can get some empanadas and some carne asada. And we can sit here and talk, just get to know each other. You know, I like your shoes. I got shoes. My sister got shoes like that. Those are pretty comfortable. He'd get Parker drunk and high. He probably would. Parker be... Yeah, at a stripper bar, yeah. I want everybody to give him a lap dance right now. Take him out of the back, get him a private show. Andy Ruiz would be at the Snicker bar for his date. Then for dessert, we can have a Snickers sundae from Dairy Queen. Andy Ruiz got knocked down by Areola, or Molina forgot who it was. It was Areola. You're right. But that don't mean that he lost too much weight. Andy lost way too much weight, man. Because I'm going to tell you why. He got dropped by Areola. But Luis Ortiz hit this man so hard that his face, he hit Andy so hard. And look, and Andy said it hurt, but he still took the punch. He was just weak, man. He was weak against Areola. Areola didn't punch that hard. But Andy was fat when he fought Luis Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? So to tie that all together, that's how I'm explaining it. I know I'm all over the place, but yeah. AJ and Wilder brought me back to heavyweight boxing. It was dead for a while. I don't know if it's me, but since they have been phasing out, I don't see the hype in the heavyweight division no more. Bocher, I agree with you, man. I feel it too. I feel that the shit we went through, like 2018, 2019, you know, like them 2 years, the idea of those guys fighting each other, especially when they were both champs, you know what I mean? I think that looking at that fight, I really do believe that those guys, if they would have fought, it would have been bigger than a lot of fights that we've had. I just think they under ranked that fight. I don't think that they really gave that fight a true rating of how big it could have been. You know, because you could talk about Wilder all you want. Wilder raised his profile talking up a fight with AJ, right? Everybody knew AJ was at a certain level with his endorsements, with the gold Olympian, you know, all that stuff he has. Okay, but what people need to understand, Wilder promoted himself off the AJ fight, or the possibility of it. But what people don't realize is Deontay Wilder's stock was up. It rose. Okay, it rose. So, yeah, people wanted to see that fight. Deontay Wilder promoted the shit out of a fight that never happened. That's just facts. He got himself in a position to get paid more from the promotional network company that he was at. He got paid off of AJ's success. He never had to fight AJ. He just had to use AJ to be there. And if they would have actually fought, which if it would have happened, that would have been a very good fight. It would have been a big fight. I think it would have been a bigger fight. It would have been a way bigger fight than Wilder versus Tyson. That would have been a way bigger fight. That fight, if AJ would have fought Wilder, especially they're both undefeated, bro, that fight should have been in Wembley, and they should have had one fight in Wembley and another fight in Madison Square Garden, or not the Barclays. It's not big enough, and I'm not even shitting on the Barclays because I love the Barclays. I think it would have been somewhere. It could have been in a stadium because Brits are going to show up and show out and they're going to buy all those tickets. AJ would have been a fucking star. Even if he would have lost, people would have been looking for him to win. And if he would have won again in the second time, there's room for a trilogy fight and they would have made their careers. But jealousy, envy, egotistical mind, all that stuff came into play. That's why that fight didn't happen. But after they both kind of fizzed out, nobody really gave a shit. Tyson Fury retired. Now he's just playing with the division. So it just shows you nobody gives a fuck about Tyson Fury like that. Nobody cares if he comes or goes. They really never did. He was just a good distraction on coming back to the sport in 2018, which he did. But he wasn't an AJ and he wasn't a Deontay Wilder. He wasn't a guy with a belt. Not yet. He was just a guy that came back and claimed that he was the lineal champion. So this shit was like a storyline from Game of Thrones. You had the guy in the South, you had the guy in the North, and you had the guy that's claiming to be all that. Sadly, Turkey wasn't around at that time. Yeah, he would have made it happen, maybe. But then understand this. Al Heyman, I don't think would have had to. Al Heyman didn't want Wilder to fight. And he didn't want Wilder to fight because he couldn't use his network unless they got AJ to come to their network. It was a network thing. It was a power struggle between Al Heyman with Showtime or Fox and his relationship with that network or those networks. That's where he could draw, that's his pull. That's his stomping ground. Not DAZN, not Matchroom or Sky Sports, none of that shit. Not Sky Sports, not DAZN, nothing over there. So he didn't want that. He wanted to control his fighter, and he wanted to have the relationship with the networks. Blessings to you, brother. Just getting in the chat late. Manchester Gunner, counterpunch to you. Matisse Sports TV. What's up, Kurt? Tuning in from Columbus, South Carolina in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Hey, man, I'm watching The Wire right now. I'm on season 3 of The Wire. Turkey would have let all the networks show it like he did. Yeah, but he was a threat then. You know what I mean? He was a threat. He wasn't a guy that no, he wasn't a guy like that at all. Turkey would have Fury could have been the GOAT for years, but he popped dirty after Klitschko wasted potential. Well, I'll say this about Tyson. Him and his cousin, they decided to take drugs. They took Nandrolone. They were smart about it though. I mean, they had a fixed in, almost like Canelo with the cow meat and shit, the beef, the Mexican beef. I'm just wondering what the fuck did they? Well, I don't know. Whatever. Kurt, what's your thoughts on getting the Ali Act abolished? There's a reason why the act was made. And if you know what the reason is, you can know what and why it benefited people. That's simple. So Dana White, to talk on that for a while, he got pissed off at that guy from, I forget his name. He's like a journalist or whatever. And he called the man an asshole because he was upset. Because he knew the guy was asking him questions that he was uncomfortable with answering, because you don't mess with stuff like that. But to be real with you guys, that's all Al Heyman just doing. Al Heyman, it's loopholes. You can't be this and be that. That's why Al Heyman is the advisor, but he gets a kickback. They talk more about Al Heyman than they ever do any promoter. Tom Brown, you don't hear much about Tom Brown. You hear about Al Heyman, though. You see? It is what it is. It's a beautiful day, man. Oh, man, you heard that pop? It's crazy. When Tyson Fury come back, how many fights he needs to win deserves? I couldn't. Well, yes, I can. He has to fight someone like Caballero. If he beats Caballero, if Caballero fights him, which I'm Caballero, why would I fight Tyson Fury if it's not for the strap? You know what I mean? I don't see them paying a lot of money to Caballero to fight Tyson Fury. Let's just keep it real. Remember that time Wilder twerked on camera? Yeah, I don't think we'll forget that. You know, I don't really talk about that much because it's something I don't think about nearly at all. Shit. I mean, you know, he gave us something to do in COVID. So, you know, when people were saying that he was cheated and shit, he was twerking and, you know, making Telly Swift slam him 3 times a day. Yeah, that was a real shit show. Because I thought that was strange, because he gets knocked out, then all of a sudden he's just this horrible person. I just don't buy that, man. I don't buy that. You know what I mean? I don't buy that at all. You know, I think Wilder and Telly Swift, like a lot of those chicks, they're with you for a certain amount of time. You fuck up, you gone. You lose one fight too many, you're done. Or they're done with you. If you have any kids, they're gonna make sure their kids are financially set and taken care of from you. So if they have to come in, you know, they have to bring the legalities in it, so be it. One word, gold digger. I mean, call it what you will, man. But you have to think about it. I mean, it's just more known because it's in the spotlight. That's why, like, I mean, I just like certain women scare me. That's why I don't fuck with certain women. Like, even with people in that, I don't even want to be known, because that's the thing. You got to be careful with when you are at a certain plateau, like these boxers are. These boxers, you know, they start getting a certain amount of notoriety, you know, because of what they do. Like with Wilder, he didn't get paid much, but I mean, he got paid enough to do what he wanted to do. You know, he didn't get AJ money, but he got enough money to live right, to live a lot better than he did in other situations, as like a plumber or, you know, a carpenter, or, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he did enough to trick money and for people to be appealing enough to latch on to. I mean, he ain't the only one. Mike Tyson, Sugar Shane Mosley, a lot of people rate Andy Ruiz. You know, they've been through the ringer with people that they thought that were going to be life partners and, you know, just supportive, and they showed that they weren't. So, I mean, that's the reality of it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's why me personally, right, I don't want to meet anyone or be with anyone that knows everything about me. You know, and especially, this is how you know You ever heard curiosity kills the cat? Right? I look out for keywords. Like, for example, Wilder was married when he met that chick. And then she did him like that. Well, she got to know, she found out that, hey, this is this dude. He's a boxer, he is this and that. She didn't give a shit about him at first. She didn't give a fuck about Deontay Wilder until she saw or known what he was. Then all of a sudden she was interested. So I look at that stuff like that, man. I did a recent video on my other channel about Steph Curry. You know, Stephen Curry's getting a divorce because his wife, Aisha, thought she was fucking better than him. Yeah, I mean, you think Telly doesn't think she's better than Wilder? Yeah, of course she does. She thinks she's smarter. She thinks she's better. You know, she thinks she deserves more. That's the point. I deserve more. I want to find myself. Then, hey, I have to now draw a narrative while to make this make sense. I can't be a bitch and just leave. I have to bring up a good enough reason to leave. That's all. And it happens. Oh, you made me have sex with him 3 times a day. He choked me. He suffocated me with a pillow, and he did these. And I'm like, he was very controlling. He went through my stuff. I'm like, going through your stuff is just what people do when they think you're cheating on them, which she was. That's been confirmed. She was cheating on him with someone more than likely she liked. Not somebody that she hooked up with for a good business decision. That's why most people, if you see they're married and shit like that, most people are married because of business, because a marriage is the ultimate partnership. Biville's wife, same thing. And that motherfucker's quiet as a mouse in church during prayer service. So yeah, that's just what you got. And then for me, I don't look, I'm this and I'm that. No, man. I'm not doing that alpha, I'm proud and I'm rich shit meeting somebody because you don't know who that somebody is. I'm going to give you a prime example on key indicators. The number one thing that a person can do to turn you off is easy. Fellas, listen. If you want to know like the marks or the roots of a gold digger, they're going to be inquisitive on what you do and how much money you make. For example, I knew a couple chicks. Oh, hey, you know, I'm at 50,000 subscribers. Oh, well, wow. How many views do you have? I know at the time I had maybe about 40 million. About 40 million views. How much money do you make? Bingo. Anybody that doesn't, if you don't care about, if you care about someone's money, that's the only reason you're asking questions like that. You know what I mean? I'm just curious. No, you're not. You're asking to see how much money this guy makes so I can know where I should take this with this guy or how much energy I put into this guy. How would that money that this guy makes, depends on what he tells me, benefit me? That's why I want to know. Oh, shit. Oh, you make $3,000 or $4,000 a month? Oh, fuck. I need to holler at you. You see? Like, no. So, yeah, you got to be careful. So you got a chick, oh, that's good. I'm glad for you. Happy for you. That's great. You know, I got to follow you and stuff like that. You know, that's a totally different scenario. Then a motherfucker asking you how much money you make. How much money you make a month of that? None of your fucking business. None of your fucking business. Don't ask me about that type of shit. Now, if I was going to be a simp and I weigh my whole appeal on money. Oh, I make about 5,000 a week. I mean a month and all that. No, bro. Come on, bro. Stop that. But then people that do that, you deserve to get got. If all you talk about is money, you deserve to get had because people only want to be around you because you got money. Like Floyd Mayweather. I wasn't sorry for him when that chick left him and got with Nelly. You know, you're on your Corey Holcomb bag. Yeah. But understand, like, look, when Floyd lost her, Floyd knew. You should have known. You know, the only reason they with you is because you got money. You know, that's it. Clout chasing, that is what you get, bro. Yeah. Just talking about, hey, this is what I got. This is what I have. This is what I've made. Not who I am, what I'm about, what I believe in, what my character states, how I live my life. Do I love my parents? Do I take care of my fucking kids? Do I love the Lord? Am I God-fearing? Am I this? Am I that? You know what I mean? Am I considerate? Am I an asshole? Am I a dickhead? Am I a jerk? Those are the things you want to know about somebody when you get to know them. And tie all this back into boxing. These guys get with these women thinking they actually like them for who they are, but they don't know who you are. So you have to have things surrounded. Okay, let me give you a prime example. Look at this here. Watch this shit. Boom. You see where I'm at right now? I'm at a fucking park. A park. I'm at a park. Park. You got, kids playing if they're there, which they're not. But it's a little walk around area. This is a park. This is a neutral area to get to know someone. Not the club. Not the fucking movies. Not out to eat. None of that shit. You want to know how to meet someone to get them to know who you truly are, whoever that is. Meet them places like this, where it's just you and them. He and she and he and he, she and she, whatever. They and they, wherever, whoever. This is where you need to be. Right here. Just you and them. Not, hey, I'm out at Steiner Ranch's Steakhouse. Hey, yeah, I just spent $150 on my steak. She got a $300 steak. Check $700. Now I'm going to keep my $700 and I'm going to stay right the fuck here until I get to know someone first. Then we may talk about all that other shit. Who are the models in your intros? Some ex-girlfriends, others, some of them are just friends. Some of them, but they're everyone I know. There's no one that I cropped from some spooky sneak. No, I know all of them. Some were ex-girlfriends, some were fitness models anyway. And when I started the channel, when the channel started taking off, some of them were cool enough to, hey man, I'll model for it. Like some of them are like one of my brother's girls are ex-girlfriends now. You know what I mean? So a couple of them were on there. So that's who they are. So there you go. You know what I mean? So I'd never lead anything with money because shit, you can be rich one day and broke the next. Shit, you can be alive one day and you die the next day. What will people say about you? Money won't matter then, will it? What will matter? Dude, that dude was cool or he wasn't. Man, I like that dude. Or I didn't like that dude. Purpose in life is to have kids, F marriage. I'm trying to have 20 kids. I ain't trying to have 20 kids. I better be a rich motherfucker to have 20 kids. And if I had 20 kids, which I don't even know if that's a good idea, because I don't really like kids. I love babies, but I hate kids, if that makes sense. Like, I think about kids in general, like babies. Babies are, they're changing every day. It's a beautiful thing to see a child. They change every day. They're learning. They learn to walk and crawl and all this shit, to talk, to speak, to cuss, and all that, right? They mimic everything you say. But then, it's a certain point of time where that child, you get away from that child and, that child doesn't remember you. Most importantly, the child doesn't remember everything that you remember about the child. So it's more solace in raising a child than having gratification of that child knowing that you raised them. So in other words, you have someone like you get with a chick or whatever, and y'all have a child, and you stay with that child until that child's 3 years old, and then what happens? You either move away, break up, or whatever, and then you come back and that child's 7. That child will not know who the fuck you are. So everything that you did with that child, only you remember, or the spouse remembers, or your ex-spouse remembers. That's the bittersweet thing about that. And it's like, it's crazy because you'll run into kids that get old and say some shit like, hey, yeah, you never did anything for me. Motherfucker, I changed your Pampers every day for like 4 years. You know what I mean? It's the gratitude that you won't get from someone because, people don't remember. I love kids. That's why every 2 years I need a new baby mama. I'm on 7. You're like Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I hope you got the money to take care of them. In fact, like early this year, I had an ex that says, oh, you might have a son. And that son now has a fucking child. And I'm like, what the fuck? Crazy. You have to set an example if you got kids responsibly. You got channel like Ring IQ super racist. You got channels like Ring IQ is super racist. Ring IQ being racist, I don't think he's racist. I think Ring IQ, you have to keep in mind, Ring IQ is from New York. And if you know anything about New Yorkers, upper northern East Coasterners, they don't really give a shit about like certain things they say. So a lot of things, I haven't seen him say anything racist, me personally. I've known Jules for a long time. A long fucking time. Like maybe 9 years or so. So I haven't heard him, maybe some people that are in that chat now, I wouldn't put it past them. But him personally, I don't think so. I can't say that. I want to be fair about people, calling people racist. I want to be fair about it. And I want to think about it and do research on it. But one thing I can never do, I can never tell what's on a person's mind and heart truly. It's undertone. I'd take me hours to make an 8-second clip of Kenny Powers training Parker, but might be worth it, man. You gave me the script. Cool, man. I would like to see it when you do it. Send it to me. That would be pretty cool, man. With the AI and stuff of these days, you can do that, man. I'm just not good at it. Terrence Crawford. Black excellence. Yeah, he's that. He is black and he is excellent. Bud Crawford, man. People are real quiet, though. I love it. I love this quiet. Because, there's nowhere to really run to. Canelo got beat so decisively that there's no... It like all the people that hated on Terrence Bud Crawford, the shit was hilarious. Everybody that hated on him. I'm looking at these channels and I'm like, Crawford's on steroids. Yeah. I'm waiting for CP. You ever met fellow YouTube boxing content creators in person? Yeah. Shit, yeah, I have. But yeah, I'm waiting. I can't remember his name, but he, I thought, but sometimes people let you know that they're racist just by the shit that they keep saying. You know what I mean? Like if you notice and you pick up on trends that people say, they don't have to necessarily say racist shit to let you know that they're racist. It's almost like everybody knows Candace Owens like doesn't like black people. She's black. She's probably the blackest person she knows, which I like Candace on. I think she's hot. I just think she just like, she's like the Hodge twins. Those they're well, she's not as bad, I don't think, but the way she looks at, she's an admirer of. She's not an admirer of black people at all. You don't hear her ever talk about that at all. And I listen to Candace Owens a lot, and she's an argumentative broad, and she's good at what she does. But no, but you can tell certain people say certain things. I don't even know why I said that though. Why did I say that about Candace Owens? You can tell she's not a pro-black person. She's not that. So already had a minor laugh the moment he beat Errol's ass. Most channels were dissing Bud. They were. Bud though is kind of different because Bud was in a situation where Bud was hated by mostly black channels. Remember the LDBC channel? They didn't like Bud Crawford. Blue Blood was the first one because he got cornered for one. He got cornered, but Blue was the first channel that switched up. You criticize the Al Heyman monopoly, but not from racial point of view. He's come from a place of envy because he hates blacks unifying. You criticize Al Heyman monopoly, but not from a racial point of view. The amount of times I went into LDB channels and they were actually cool with me. Well, I mean, LDBC, I don't think they were bad as people thought they were. I think they took the Deontay Wilder thing overboard, and I think with that argument they got a bad reputation because they jumped on the narrative that Wilder was cheated by Tyson Fury in ways that they claimed he was cheated by. That was a problem, but what some of them start doing, they started calling you, like they called me a coon. I said, man, me, T Street Controversy, Bruce Vane, Showbiz the Adult, they called us all coons because we were black content creators. And that's because we didn't agree on the narrative. But who are you to tell me what to agree on? And just because I don't agree on it makes me something that you claim that I am just because you're mad because I'm not agreeing with you type shit. True Media. Yeah, True Media. True Media, it used to be New Media today. Dante's Boxing Nation, made everyone with New Media change their name. This is a fact. And Dante's Boxing Nation is not LDBC at all. They used to kind of get along and hang out, maybe. But he's not an LDBC. Him, R.I.K. or any of those guys. Boxing Ego, none of those guys are LDBC. But no, he reached out to me years ago. And he inboxed me. Coach Malachi. And you know how Instagram is. Instagram is not going to show you, hey, you got a message. You have to look at the request of the message. So you may never see it. So by the time I saw that Coach Malachi sent me a message, it was years later. And then when I replied, I seen he looked at it and then didn't reply back. So I guess he thought, oh, fuck Kurt. He didn't reply when I wanted him to. I didn't see your message, so I'm sorry if, you know what I mean, because it's not that I saw it and chose not to reply like he decided not to reply when he saw me responding to the message that he sent me. You know what I mean? So that's what that was. So I didn't know what, I didn't get his message to respond to it, which it was a cool message. It wasn't nothing bad. It's just, I didn't see the fucking thing. So, sorry. I mean, and I'm like, hey, man, But no, I think he had a pretty cool channel. I know he has a following, and I respect Like people like Coach Malachi, Punch Drunk Boxing, a lot of those guys like that. I respect their audience because all of them have a different audience, all of them. So you respect their audience. There's room for everyone. I do feel, even though I do feel nowadays that some channels are trying to be silenced. Now, I suspect it's biased, it's corrupt, it's shadow banning. I think there's a lot of that involved. We got 30 people on here, maybe. I don't know. I guess it shows 30, but it's 30 people on here. That means only 30 people know that I'm live out of over 90,000. I find that impossible to be the truth. He's like a supervillain. When I listen to your content, you resonate with so many, because people are coming from a good place. People can tell when someone has an agenda. Man, I just like to talk boxing, but twist common sense and overall good vibes and good intentions in with the boxing. You know what I mean? Like, there is some things that I do push, but they are not bullshit agendas, True Media is a coon channel. That's facts. LDBC made him change his name because he was talking tough, but no action. Drew and Blood always at press conferences looking for that midget. Now he stays quiet. Marlon Thornell, afternoon, Kurt. Counterpunch to you. Most of black mainstream media who hate on people are non-FBAs. What's FBA? I don't know what that means. Kurt's got the best channel. Avatar, what's up, brother? Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Showbiz has a lot of coon viewers. 2, he sold his soul for the bag. I never listened to Showbiz. True Media channels like that just make content for views. Well, I think views, though, are... because, everyone's able to attract subscribers, but if you're not able to reach your own subscribers that chose to follow you, that's the problem. It's sabotage. I don't care about people's views, like how they think about stuff. I don't care about any of that, because I used to, and I spent a lot of time counterpunching how people thought. Nowadays, I could give a shit. My main concern is everybody that supports me, that subscribe to the channel, that are members, that donate, that hits the like button, that do these things for the channel, for me, that make the content for the channel, for you. That's what I care about. I don't care about what someone thinks. I don't care about people's views. I don't care about so-and-so said this, and I say this about their channel. I don't care about that shit no more. That took a lot of energy and it took a lot of time. Now I just worry about my own audience. So if you guys can't get to my channel, you don't get notifications. They're not being sent out to you. That's my problem. That's my only concern. You guys, 94.4 thousand of you guys, that's who I care about, right? Because if you're not getting the notifications to even look at something, that's the problem, not me. And then what happens is when you go to someone like YouTube and you say, hey, listen, so many people are subscribed to the channel, that hit the bell icon, that are not getting notifications. Why is that? And then they say it's your fault. That's bullshit. That's the problem. That's the problem. Oh, maybe it's your mobile notification. No. Nothing's changed. If anything's changed, that's you guys. That's on you. That means you've either changed something, your algorithms, or the way you do shit. You've changed it. So don't tell me it's me. When I had 40,000 subscribers, way more people saw my stuff. More people got notifications. More people, the channel was pushed. Now I have more subscribers. None of that shit's happening. So I don't know. I finally started getting notifications again. Yeah. It's like, I think the problem is, if you could prove that YouTube's not really doing their job, then you could sue YouTube. That's why. And I think they don't want that to happen. You know, because somebody has to be held accountable. You know, there's a lot of things that used to take place on YouTube. It's been strange. It's been a blessing. It's been a surprise. But it's also been a hassle. It's been, you know, a disappointing, frustrating journey, because the more you get, it's like the less they want to do for you. And it's weird. It's just weird. Because you have too many Fury fangirl subscribers. They are not real boxing fans. They will stop watching boxing now that Fury is finished. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. See, what you're saying is, because you have too many fangirl Fury channels. Yeah, I know you hate Fury. So what? That has nothing to fucking do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I do a video, it doesn't matter who it's about. The notifications are not being pushed. That's what I'm talking about. I wonder if thumbs down instead of thumbs up affects algorithms. I have no idea. I have not a clue. You know? But it would be good to know someone from YouTube and like, hey, look at my shit and see what's happening. You know? Look at it and see what's going on with this, because, you know, you look at certain channels that have 20,000 subscribers and it's 500 fucking people on live. It's like, there's no fucking way you can tell me that everything is right about the channel, unless I just suck and I'm no good no more. And people therefore look, oh, I don't give a fuck about Kurt. He ain't live. I ain't checking out. Fuck Kurt. And I refuse to be that's the case, because it's too many people saying, man, I didn't even see. I don't even get notifications from you no more. Usyk. Let's see. Honest opinion, Jake or Tank? I could care less. And I'm contemplating, because I don't know, man. Tank is doing it for the money. Jake is doing it for the money and the notoriety. He sells tickets. He sells an idea. He panders to a audience that really don't support boxing, but since he's in boxing, boxing is a part of their interest because he's there. Tank, disgraced fighter, you know, taught by Floyd to not do shit. Therefore, he hasn't really. Talented guy, you know, yeah. Roach feels that he should give him step-aside money. You guys heard about that? Mama Lou, you still got it, Kurt. I guess. Thank you. You know? YouTube is racist. Simple as that. Black channels need to work 10 times harder, but they promote biased Caucasians who obviously are racist. You know what? If that's the case, I don't think that calling people, everyone racist is not the issue. That's not the issue. I think the issue would be, if there is bias in YouTube, it needs to stop. Not to attack the people it benefits. So it's like, oh, well, they're racist. They're not racist if they're white. I'm not talking about the content creators. They're just benefiting from it. But imagine that. Imagine what kind of lawsuit you would have if you could prove that shit. You know? But you know what? The only way that could, if somebody could prove that, is somebody from YouTube would have to whistleblow. That would be and if that ever happened, if someone from YouTube ever came forward and said, hey, you know what? This has happened in this department at YouTube, that they purposely did this. They purposely withheld notifications from these particular channels because these guys looked a certain way. Boy, that would be a lawsuit out of this world. Because they couldn't shut those channels down because they would need those channels for evidence. But I mean, it would have to be somebody with the analytics that knows proof that says, listen, this is what happened. Roach is right, Tank is ducking. When I wasn't subscribed, I get notifications when you go live. What the fuck? Wait, let me read that again. Wayne 88. When I wasn't subscribed, I get notifications when you go live. I think it's when you keep up with the channel or have one of your vids in algorithm, you get notifications, subscribed or not. That's crazy. So you get notifications when you're not subscribed. Yeah. That's why I decided to do exactly what I set out to do, which everyone that's a member knows what I set to do. Yeah, YouTube will never let that whistleblowing happen. You're right. They should get sued. Man, if that would be crazy. That would be absolutely nuts. Imagine that. Someone from that department comes forward and said, hey, I have proof that this happened, that this is going on. You know what I mean? And, you know, that would be, yeah, that would be eye-opening. Drew Titan and Stormy B-Man have the same problems as you do. Drew Titan. Here's the thing, though. If Drew Titan, we have totally different views. We don't think the same about shit, about everything. We're two different channels. So that, you know, that lets you know that two different channels. You know, I'm more of a Martin Luther King. That cat's more of a Malcolm X. You know what I mean? So yeah, that shouldn't be the case. But it happens, man. I mean, a lot of people don't get it. And they want to pretend like they don't know what the fuck's going on. And you know, I had meetings with YouTube and YouTube, oh, it's not that. We would never do that. Yeah, you would. If someone did not want you to prevail, if someone thought, hey, we don't want you to get your things out or your word across, because it's all about money. I mean, people don't care about, do you think people in that department that get a salary, do you think they really care about how much notifications or how many views you get? Or should I say how many views you don't get? No. Honestly, honest opinion, what do you think about the MAGA Latinos who are now backtracking? What's MAGA? What does that mean? I watch your videos all the time. Wayne 88. Yeah. They just banned Drew for a week on his channel for no reason. I don't know. I mean, no, I don't believe that. Quan Big Gun, don't believe that shit. If Drew Titan got banned from YouTube, he did something. He's just not going to tell you that. He's just not going to tell you. You know, so it's either he used some content, you know, some community guidelines, which I hardly ever have problems with these days, because I know the rules and I know the regulations. I hardly ever get a yellow check. I used to get a yellow check. You remember every live, my check was always yellow, and I'm like, what the hell? My yellow dollar sign, meaning you're not getting any monetization for it. People are watching it, but you're not getting paid for it. Now, I'm not getting notifications to my people. Regards from Scotland. What about Polly's face, bro? What about Polly's face? Make another grapple again. I don't know what that means. I don't know. He offended a Tank fanboy. That's why he got banned. But these Caucasians being racist on every video, never getting banned. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of. You say Caucasians? I don't know. I if I saw it, I would say something about it. But I mean, if you see racism, why don't you report it? That's my thing. If you see someone that's being racist, you have to keep in mind though. Don't be a racist and get pissed off because somebody else is. You got to remember that. You know, because a lot of people just argue, I'm not racist, I'm just pro-white. You know? Hey. Oh, you mean, okay, you're talking about the political bullshit here. Nah, I don't really talk about that shit much. Because I'm not really into that type of thing. I don't put energy into politics at all. I think there's enough politics in boxing, you know, than to worry about that. Paulie looked like he got jumped by samurais last night. He probably did. Paulie Malignaggi? Paulie's always getting into some shit. But Paulie, isn't he in the bare knuckle tournaments or some shit like that? I don't really watch any. They just very biased hate, man. I mean, you don't really watch them though. So if someone ain't hurt you, why you hate them? Exactly. I mean, you know, like as far as YouTube, it is actually, it's sad. It's disappointing though. Because like the things that we're talking about, we shouldn't have to worry about why I'm not getting notifications. That should be the last fucking thing that we should be talking about. You know? But it's obviously it's a thing, because you know, I talked to a good friend of mine last night and he was like, dude, they've been fucking with you for a long time. I talked to Bruce Vane last night. Bruce Vane told me, he said, man, they've been fucking with your channel for at least 2 years now. And it's bad. It's bad for a lot of reasons. You know? Kurt, when you make a video, I get notifications or see in my algorithms within 5 minutes. I think it's because I always keep up with you and you keep, and it keeps you in the algorithm. But I think it may be competition as well. So you know. But no, I've decided to do some changes. So it is what it is. Do you have TikTok? Yes and no. I'm hardly ever on it. I had it on this phone, but this particular phone got hacked, so I haven't reinstalled it. Usyk would be good in the movie The Hitcher. Kinda. I could see him doing it because Alexander Usyk does look a lot to me like Rutger Hauer. I think he's and he's not Scottish, he's Dutch or some shit like that. Swedish? I don't know. But yeah, I could see that. He got the crazy eyes. He looked like he could murder somebody. Usyk always looked kind of crazy. You know? Broner took Paulie's belt and girl. That's why Paulie's insecure. You know how long ago that shit was, bro? That shit was so long ago. And none of them are worth the shit anymore, man. Broner, he's lost his mind, and Paulie's talking faster than ever. But man, I'm going to jump off of here. I enjoyed you guys, the few, the proud, the Counterpunch Boxing News crowd. I got a lot of videos to do, though. I got some good videos to upload for tomorrow. So you guys stay tuned for that. Until then, God bless you all. Have a great Sunday. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.